Hey, GM, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Metaverse Spotlight. It's been a while since we did a Metaverse Spotlight, but we're bringing it back. Thank you guys so much for being here. Everyone in the chat, what up, what up? See some of y'all's names coming through. Vodact, Wapex, K, Wayward's in the chat and also on screen. What up, everybody? Thank you guys for being here. Today, we're going to be exploring a game that was built for a game jam for the Sandbox in the Dr. Blompkus game jam. And I'm joined by the legends behind the game, Wayward.
I wouldn't call us legends.
And Zombie. I call you guys legends. It looks like you guys have cooked up something pretty awesome. So what's up, everybody? How are you guys?
Well, quickly just then, did you say the Blompkus game jam? Did you mix it up?
I may have. We were just talking about that earlier.
I've been doing that so many times. The typos in the game, the amount of times I got it wrong and I had to go back and correct it so many times.
I thought I read a blump. I thought I read a typo the first time I was reading it, and then I kept reading it. And I was like, no, that definitely makes sense. They want it to be Blumkus,
Yeah.
And it seems like a wayward thing, maybe.
I don't know I can't remember which one of us came up with it.
It was my idea.
Oh,
I had the idea before they announced the theme.
No shit.
We got very lucky with the theme, and I think the theme was the perfect theme, to be honest, because it has literally allowed anyone to make games that they already wanted to make, and it's given that extra motivation to be able to do it and publish onto their lands. We're going to see these games. A lot of these games are going to be published probably onto Sandbox lands as well.
Right.
So even people that don't play, they've got their foot in the door. And I've also been seeing a lot of people that have never touched Game Maker before. Like one of the artists we work with, Biagi, he's actually made his first game now.
Yeah,
and his first game is miles better than my first game, and that's because Game Maker has come that far now.
Yeah, Game Maker really has come a long way, and I just saw Biagi did a game himself too, which I was stoked to see. So shout out Biagi. He's been working on a bunch of dope assets for me, and also doing all kinds of really cool stuff for Touche Studios. So shout out Biagi, dope artist, and also a game developer now. So that's super cool. I really do also. I agree that I think the theme or whatever you call the game jam theme, that you guys could do anything, really open the door for probably
as long
a lot
as it
of awesome
revolved
games.
around Dr. Blompkus. I think that was
True.
the only stipulation.
Yeah, which I mean pretty much opens the door to anything, as long as you got a creative mind and figure out a way to work it in. Like you guys did with this one. I don't know if anyone expected to see this type of game, which we haven't. We are going to dive in. This will be my first time actually playing it. So
let's quit jabbering about it and just hop right into it.
I was gonna say, let me open it up. For those of you that don't know, you can play all of the Game Jam games, I believe. Do they have to be published? I imagine they have to be published to the gallery. So
in order to submit it, you have to publish it. So I think every single Game Jam game that's submitted should be in there.
Is this the title format? It has to have Dr. Blompkus Game Jam in the beginning, or
Blompkus Game Jam. You didn't need to put the doctor in there.
Okay. But so if somebody were curious, they could search Blompkus GJ and pull up all of the submissions,
of which there are a lot this time, and I'm very excited for that. It's been a while since I've seen a good participation for these game jams.
Yeah,
people are obviously excited for it. It's it is the next chapter. If things are just shifting all over the Sandbox, really. You've got that new Game Maker fund coming up.
Yeah, I think that's what got people pretty excited. How do you guys feel about that? Are you excited about the changes to the Game Maker fund and how they are monetized?
I'm very for it. I've been wanting to see the Sandbox open up for quite a while now. I want people to be playing these games, and I want the culture to sort of set in and it just become a real thing and it just grow, and there's creators playing games and players then becoming creators, and then it's just all mixing back in and then just grow the space.
Exactly. I
It's
think
been a long time coming.
this is what was needed, and I think it will start putting the Sandbox back on the map now that there will be some awesome games out there. Yeah, it looks like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, so 15 per slide. Not going to do mental math on this, but 15 times 5, 75 plus I think there's 5 more on the 6th page. So far there's 80 games that pull up with Blompkus Game Jam in the front. So that's quite a large entry. I don't know. I guess I haven't tracked closely, or I don't even know if there are numbers out there. Are either of you familiar or aware of like what some of the previous entry amounts were?
Oh man.
No.
I
I don't
don't
have the
know.
numbers for all of them, but I've been in game jams recently that were about 30.
Okay.
participants. So
That's good.
Yeah, this is
That's a
really
good like benchmark to go off of. So this is quite a bit higher than some of them you've seen anyways.
I mean, it's so much more accessible now because you can
I
make a
didn't
good
spell it
game
right.
easily. Like I was saying, like
Yeah.
Biaggi with his first game, it is miles better than my first game I made in the Sandbox. I mean, it's because it is that much easier now. In the
Yeah,
past, when I did game jams, I very much specialized in what is like internally called hacking mechanics. So I could make something happen, but I'm just putting all these pieces together that nobody would have thought of. It breaks within like the next update, but like it only worked with that specific game jam. That's not going to be the case anymore. You've got this rule system. It makes a lot of sense. It's not going to break either.
Hell yeah. That's exciting that it really is opening the door and making it so much easier. It got me inspired to get back in the Game Maker and start building stuff again. So I'm excited to see what comes of it. It seems like it's leaps and bounds ahead. What, by the way, before I move on to this question, if anyone wants to play and you're catching this and you have no idea how to do this, you need the Game Maker downloaded on your computer. You can download that at sandbox.game. I'm sure you can figure that out. If you can't, hit me up somewhere, wherever, I'll help you. And then once you get that downloaded, you click on the Start Playing tab over here, and then you go and search Blompkus, and you have to spell it right, Blompkus, and that'll pull up their Blompkus Battles game, and then you can dive on in, which is what I'm going to do right now. And now back to my question, which was for Zombie. Oh, what are some changes that have come to you that, or not come to you, come to the Game Maker that kind of set where we're at now apart from where you were? Like you were saying, you had to like hack a bunch of stuff and that would break after an update or two. Is that like the biggest thing, is that there's just so many more things that you can just easily do without having to hack?
Oh yeah, so many different types of games that can come now. Like in particular, survival games and puzzle games. They could, whilst you could make them, like the performance aspect, it wasn't great, and because the performance wasn't as great, you would be able to abuse that system, and you could break the game if the character went too fast or was spamming E too much. This rule system, it is fire. It just works instantly, just like you would expect from like any other program. So now you can do maths with inside the Game Maker, and you've got something like a shop system. I had a shop system built in a 0.810, and it relied on a speaker component and messages going towards that speaker component, and the component turning around like a dial on a clock, and then that was sending a message that was saying it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, for example, and then I had more overlapped on top of that to then send a message when you were trying to buy something, and it was saying, it was basically confirming that the dial was pointing at the right spot, that you had enough money, and then you had another dial which would say 4 paces backwards, and it would send a message to that, and it will reset your shop total to be that. That broke as soon as we got into 0.9. It was very subject to change. It was a very hacky mechanic, but now it's also so much easier to do that. Now you can make a proper shop mechanic that doesn't rely on just over the top loads of logic assets that just don't really make much sense, to be fair.
That makes sense. And To be fair, also, I've seen how you do your logic, and you are on another level, my friend. Whenever you come to figuring out some of these things, but so I feel like these not only are these changes to the game maker really benefiting new builders and new game developers, but also the guys that have been here a while now have all these extra things that they can start brainstorming and thinking about how to do things differently. So it's it's been a wild last few months, and I know a lot of people have been super busy, like both of you, and I think that's probably part of it too.
There's one thing I want to point out here, and we just completely glossed over it because we're too busy talking. But right here at the start, you can't see your character. There's a tube that's around you. And Wayward had this really cool idea for that clone asset that's in the background. And once I saw that, I realized I can make a mechanic out of this. And basically what happens is a Blompkus, well, not Blomp, Dr. Blompkus, these are the clones. He falls out the tube at the bottom. And then all of these test tubes, they all move to the left. And as it's doing that, the tube that was surrounding you comes down, and it gives the appearance that you're a clone that just came out from one of those tubes.
You'll see it again if you end up dying. Like if you end up dying, you'll see.
Okay, I was like, I don't even know if I saw that.
But this was an example where we just had ideas that just bounced off each other, and a lot of them was just like, "Oh, can we do something weird, crazy, or cool?" And we just bounced them back and front, and it was like, "Yes, we're going to make something cool out of this."
Hell yeah, I love that, and that's what a collaboration is so good for. Is like especially when you're collaborating with people that have different skill sets, is that you can come up with some really crazy things that maybe you wouldn't have thought up on your own. But whenever you're bouncing ideas off, like you said, it can lead to some pretty dope stuff. So I'll have to pay close attention and see all the stuff. And please feel free to point out as we find things. And honestly, I feel like let's just start playing the game, and then we'll go. I'm sure there will be a question or something that comes up from there. Sound good?
Yeah. I mean, it's a 30-minute playthrough, even when you know what you're doing. So it'll be a bar.
All right. So we should get into this, and who knows? Maybe we'll run out of time because I'll be jibber jabbering. But we'll play a handful of it so that people get hooked, and then they'll go play it all through for themselves.
So maybe you won't become a Blompkus master, but maybe you'll get a few Guardian crystals along the way.
Yes, exactly. Whatever you say. And while I'm skimming through this and getting us into the game, I wanted to read it. I'm reading it. I was like, I don't know if I want to ask you guys a question, but we'll get there. So looks like it's working. Glorious. Thought I was going to have to throw out another faulty batch. I'm Dr. Blompkus, the original, who is talking to you through a chip in your brain, and you are my clone who I've created for a very special task. I'm a clone. Yes. Do catch up and at least try to act like you weren't just born 2 minutes ago. Okay. Y'all know how I play. I start reading and then I'm like, I'm just going to skim through it. Oh, straight to the point. Maybe this generator has some promise after all. None of that rubbish. Gonna keep rambling. Exactly my thoughts. Please throw it. You're the first to batch Generation C to Project Avatar. My goal is metaversal travel, and I need to harness pure avatar energy to power my multi-metaversal portals. All right. What did happen to Janae and B? Janae was only 50% me, and the other 50% was from whatever. Jim B was 100% me, but lacked free will, which meant they couldn't power the portal. That's not what I meant. Did you kill them? No. They're far too handy for experiencing. Cool. I'm not a complete monster. Prove yourself as an avatar, and I can promise you much more than just your continued existence. Okay, I'll check out this Blompkus then. All right. Your own Blompkus. So now we got into the game.
So, in case it wasn't clear, the first batch of clones are these Blompkuses.
Okay.
Because they are a mix of him Dr. Blompkus and just whatever he could find.
I'm following.
Yeah,
I'm
go ahead
following.
through the portal.
So head through the portal. Go to Blompkus Citadel. Yes, please.
All right. And to the
All
right,
right.
you can see the little the marker there.
I'm like trying to use my mouse to look around.
Yeah, I did that quite a few times. You get used to it. But you start, after you've did this for 3 weeks, you start playing games and you forget that you can move the mouse.
You forget that you can do it. Yeah. For those of you that aren't playing this, I can't do anything with the mouse. It's locked with this viewpoint.
Yeah, side scroller.
Side scrolling, which I actually really love. It brings back like Pokemon vibes for me.
I mean, that's exactly what we was going for.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of makes sense. Go to Blompkus Splicing Lab. Yes. How did this game idea come to fruition, you two? I guess you said you were kind of thinking of doing some kind of creature capture or creature battling game. Is that what you were saying, Zombie?
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Yeah, so ever since 0.9, actually technically the entire time I've been in Sandbox or wanted to do game design, I've always wanted to make a sort of monster capturing game, turn-based game. And then with 0.9, I was like, oh, I really want to do this, but I didn't have enough time to with other work and other projects I was working on. And then when it came to this game jam, I was like, oh, it would be super cool if I could work this into the theme. And then the theme was just completely open. So I just went like fully committed into this. I put 250 hours into it.
You're so crazy. I love it though. I love it. That's dedication. And it shows. Like, I mean, we haven't even seen much of the game yet, but like you guys both had to have gone hard on this, because I mean it's beautiful. As far as my initial reaction, I can tell that it's well put together, and it feels like a game that you guys could have been working on for months already, just from like the visual feel. So it's looking awesome so far. Okay, let me play through this scene because I want to get to something. You made it to the Blompkus Splicing Lab. Great. Then Gen B slicing scientists. It should grow strong quickly. Head over to the console over there to learn more about the Blompkus. Okay. So then we go and we learn about the Blompkus. Do you guys, instead of me reading, want to just tell us a little bit about the Blompkus, and I'll continue working through this, or do I have to do these?
You don't have to do it. Just press leave and you'll go to the next text box.
Okay.
This actually just mostly tells you how to fight, but you can just learn it on the go.
Okay. That's usually how I do.
Yeah.
I'm the worst player. I don't read much of anything, but I'm trying to do it. So I'm trying to get better at it. Okay. You're all caught up. Okay. So I just beat them all in Blompkus fight. Not quite. I've set up a series of trials where you have to defeat 4 Guardian Blompkuses and obtain their power crystals. No Gen B has ever got all 4. All right.
Obviously, if I haven't caught on your Gen C, you're the first of Gen C batch. So the Gen A's, which are the Blompkuses, Gen B's, which were the first clones, but they didn't have free will and can open up the Avatar portal. And then your Gen C, you have free will, and you're going to become the Blompkus Master.
Hell yeah. I am going to become the Blompkus Master. Okay, so I'll airdrop you a Blompkus token to cover the cost. Okay, so we're getting money.
And you're going to go back through that portal.
So back to the portal.
Yeah. And this little part is just... It's in the game just to explain there's a little bit extra. Like if you want to spend a lot of time in there, you can do a little bit of customization. Basically, all these other Blompkuses, Dr. Blompkus that you see with all their gears on, you can buy those gears and you can equip them yourself.
Okay, cool. So it's all like wearables that they're wearing.
Yeah.
You'll see that in the... It's telling you to go over to the shop anyway, so you'll see all of it.
But part of the motivation of this, we were thinking what could possibly happen with the Dr. Blompkus IP going past its game jam. obviously they're getting all these games together. It would make sense they do some kind of season later on down the line. Like they shouldn't forget about it.
Right.
Like I would definitely want to see Dr. Blompkus appear again within say 6 months, or at the very least when it comes to the next Sandies. Like I'd want Dr. Blompkus to come again. I want it to be a reoccurring theme. I want to keep growing it. So then I started thinking, what about like avatar collections? It would make so much sense that you've got Dr. Blompkus clones as actual avatars that people would one day be able to buy, and maybe they'll just be filled with like equipables like this or something.
100%. I think you're on the right track. I feel like the Sandbox seeing this is going to be like, well, this is a really good idea.
Why would they not do it? It's basically free money.
Yeah. I mean, really, it is. I'm getting a Mohawk augmentation. I think.
You get your first for free.
Sweet.
Just double checking, you guys can't hear an alarm, right? Because there's just an alarm. Okay, there's just an alarm happening outside right now. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't getting through.
Okay, no, I don't hear anything either. Wayward, I am imagining you did all of the wearables and stuff, yeah?
Yeah.
What? How many are there?
I think it's just the ones there.
These 2, 4, 6, 10.
Yeah.
11 including the one that you just got for free.
Oh yeah. Forgot.
And the reason why you actually got that for free was because I didn't have enough room to put it up there.
That's perfect. And then can I equip it?
Yeah, you can equip it.
There it is.
In fact, wait, did you ever check out the toilets, or did you not get time to check out the toilets?
Oh, I see. There's a part of this game that I haven't even seen yet. He put in some toilets for me.
Toilets? Where?
Which, if you know Clever Whatever, like anything potty humor, it's just great. So if you go to the right,
Go to the right.
and then you go up the thing that takes you up to the next floor.
Oh,
Not through there. Yeah, you see that platform. Just wait for it to go up.
go up here.
Yeah,
Ride the
we need to see this
platform.
bit because Wayward needs to see it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. So this is even going to be new to me because he put it in as kind of
This is-
like an afterthought.
Citadel toilets. Yes, go to the Citadel toilets.
There's nothing particularly special here, but it's just fun. You just put it in. It's on theme. Again, like when you're making these for this particular theme, which was open theme, you could do anything. Like you want to make a game that's good for your own IP as well, and you're going to want to put it on land. So you want to put your mark on it specifically.
Yeah,
Right.
I feel like we marked it pretty well. We marked our territory right there.
It's pretty marked up. I'd say you guys did a good job.
All right.
And we
Get
got
on
a
up.
token.
You need to get your own Blompkus on the field. So get on up out there.
How do I do that?
Just continue on with the quest.
Go up here.
Yeah.
Turn on the portal. And then go to the desert wasteland. All right. So to recap, how did what up new people in the chat, by the way? I'm not a great multitasker, but I do see it come in and then don't want to cut people off. But thanks for being here. I see Hidong, Lucas, Fred and Ferd. What up, everybody? Just playing Blompkus battles with the team behind it. We got Wayward and Zombie in the house. Woke Zombie.
Yep.
What up, everybody? Thanks for being here. We are about to get into the game, I believe. How many hours did you say you think you worked, or you worked on this Zombie? And then did you track your hours too, Wayward? I'm just curious is it just solely you two that worked on it?
Yeah, just us two. We're the
Okay.
two brainiacs behind it.
I did not track my hours because I practically live at my computer. I've stopped timing it.
I feel you on that.
What I was doing throughout this game jam is what she does every day.
Kind of.
Okay, so I'm getting into it. Maybe you guys just guide me instead of making me read everything. Maybe that'll be easier. Do I go in here?
No. Go touch some grass over there.
Let me leave.
Yeah, leave.
Just push leave.
Yeah.
Like,
And then over
okay.
there, touch that grass over there, that dry grass. There you go.
A wild Blompkus appears. Oh, hell yeah.
Right, and because you didn't read how to do Blompkus battles, we're going to have to walk you through it. Okay, but this guy, it starts off very easy deliberately. But you might want to buff your attack first.
Okay, so choose an attack.
Yep.
And the recommendation is buff attack.
Yep.
We'll go
That's
with
what
it.
he's saying, but
I'm usually not a buff player, but I just send it until they die.
yeah, I just spam attack on any kind of one of these fighting games, and that's how I played this one too. Like, my husband played it more. We did have my husband as a playtester, so I don't know if that counts as a team member, but
we can include him on there.
He was like, playing strategically, like buff and debuff and all that, and asking Woke if the debuffs stack, and I was like, I just spammed attack, you guys, just play good.
There's definitely different kinds of players for every kind of game, and us included. I'm more in the wayward side of things, but for those of you that are curious, are the buffs like stackable and all the different questions that maybe people would have along those lines?
Yeah, the buffs are absolutely stackable. Although as you progress through the game, it becomes more important to worry about super effective attacks. Right now, you're just a normal type Blompkus, and in this first area, you don't have access to the Blompkuses that would give you super effective attacks towards them. But as you start going to the other areas, you want to start thinking about getting the right combination of your Blompkus.
Okay.
And getting different type advantages, and you'll do massive damage.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's
way
I'm
to win the
following.
game.
What I'm trying to see like what all we're seeing on the screen. So we have our HP on the left, their HP on the right, the stamina, and
yeah.
This
so
is...
you've got a stamina system in there. Each attack takes away a fixed amount of stamina. And if you don't have enough stamina to perform the attack that you've chosen, you will take damage.
Okay.
And it's actually you don't see this, it's not explained in the game, but it's actually 3 times your level worth of damage that you take. So you really don't want to risk taking an attack if you don't have the stamina for it.
And how much does each attack cost?
It varies. There's loads of different attacks in the game.
Okay,
so
okay.
You've got a very basic attack right now, so you've got basically no chance of running out of stamina. But if you were getting low, you would use the rest attack, and you'd gain back 4 stamina. And you gain stamina in between turns as well.
Okay. And then on the left, Blompkus type normal. Is this about our opponent?
No, that's all about you. So that's
this is all
explaining
about
your
us.
moves.
Okay.
So it kind of had to be that way because you've got your askers, and askers are fixed text. Like they don't have variable commands. Like you can't update them there. So as you see, I've got damage attack, buff attack, debuff attack. I couldn't, unless I want to do a lot of askers and a lot of extra work, I couldn't have it say headbutt, small attack up, small defense down. So instead, it just labels it on the left for you.
Okay, I see. And then as far as your opponent goes, you just kind of have to learn, and as you play, I would imagine, and what they look like and stuff would be their different like types and etc. etc. Yeah.
Some of it's intuitive. So right now you are in the Earth Temple area, so everything is of the Earth element, and you can actually tell by the type of their attack. So his attack was animation was different to your attack, and all of the Earth element Blompkuses will have that attack. So at that point, that's when you can learn what type they are.
Okay.
So the type that would actually be super effective against Earth is air, but you don't have access to that yet.
Gotcha. All right. And then once we beat them in battle, extract Blompkus DNA.
Yeah, and this is the real cool part. This is where it's got that... Oh, you failed anyway. But yeah, this is the real cool part of it. So you can extract part of their DNA. So the VXMs, though, they're basically separated into, say, a head node, like the torso body node, and then you've got the limbs. And what you'll be able to do once you've extracted the DNA successfully is be able to interchange that in that splicing lab that you went to. and that's how you get the different types of different attacks and different appearances.
Okay, so you're using the DNA that you get to then go and craft different things, essentially.
Well, yeah, to make different Blompkuses.
And then when you make a new Blompkus, is that the only way to change their attacks, or can you change their attacks a different way?
It's only by using more Blompkus DNA. So you don't gain new attacks from leveling up. It's purely from the Blompkuses that you catch.
Gotcha. So then so the only way to change the attack is to change it to a new Blompkus?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. Okay. So where are we at? So we're battling Blompkus. Am I just continuing to look for Blompkus to battle, and we're trying to find the 2 keys in the dungeon to be able to unlock the Earth Temple where the Guardian rests?
Yeah, that is exactly.
So you want
what
to
we're
do some
doing.
leveling up first. Okay, this one's generally quite a tough Blompkus. So you could just do the same thing as last time. You can do a buff attack, and then you can keep attacking.
Okay.
Or you can just do what I do and spam attack. you do you.
Yep.
What if we debuffed attack? Would that be the worst move?
No,
I'll
no,
trust.
you can do a debuff.
You scared me. You told me he's good. Looks like a ninja. A ninja.
Yeah, so I've specifically called that one a samurai.
Samurai. That's what I was going for. When I said ninja, that's why I said ninja again, because like that doesn't sound right. But that was what I was going for. Samurai.
Yeah.
How many different Blompkuses are there?
There are 13 different Blompkuses. But then when you think about they've all got 3 parts to them, and you can change them basically at free will, provided you get the part. I don't know, I can't do the maths on that. It's been a while since I've been able to figure that out. But many different combinations, easily over 100.
Well, actually, hold on. 13. There's 13 of them, and there's 3 options for. Yeah, I don't know. That's a whole lot. That's a whole lot of options. Never mind. I was gonna try to calculate it, and I was like, no, it's too much math.
There's probably some formula. Maybe somebody in the chat can figure it out. That's quite too much math for me. I can handle a little plus or minus or multiply, but that's going over my head. I'm sure it's just a simple formula. Somebody's smart in the chat.
It might be. It might just be 13 to the power of 3, actually, to be fair.
So there's a lot of different variations to the Blompkus you can create in this game, which is awesome. We're going to keep on attacking because he's almost dead. The 3 different variants are what is the 3 different variants?
The head, the torso, and the limbs.
And the limbs. Okay. I think, and we saw that. Those were the things that were floating.
Oh, heck, you keep failing.
Oh, God.
You're unlucky. Like, if you run into that, you want to be able to take its part. Like, it's got some really strong parts to it. You want to be using that, basically. In fact, when I play through this game, I will keep sitting here until I've extracted at least 1 part from it, because it will make you fly through the next area.
Oh, yeah. So then, really, right now, I should just be continuing to battle things until I actually get an extraction.
I mean, you can.
You can get through this first area actually without having to change your Blompkus at all, as long as you get your strategy right.
Okay, so I don't need to keep doing this, but maybe we'll get it on this time. I'm gonna rush through it. How? I have a feeling we're not going to get anywhere near being played through. But like I said, we'll just hook people in, and then they can go play from there.
Exactly. I want to get to a point where you've at least extracted some DNA. You can change out your Blompkus, because that's when it starts looking cool.
Yeah, exactly. So keep on attacking, and then so how does the game progress? Like, give people just like a general outline of the game. I don't know if we actually ever did that in the beginning either. We just kind of dove into chatting.
Well, we explained the backstory behind it, where you've got the Gen A, the Gen B, and the Gen Cs, and these Blompkuses, they're the Gen A clones. And you're going through trials in typical Dr. Blompkus fashion. And basically all the Gen Bs, because they collect the Gen As, the Blompkuses, and they do the Blompkus battles. The trials are set around doing the Blompkus battles. And the backstory is not a single Gen B has ever been able to complete all the trials. So you will be the first. Nice. You got the extraction.
Yeah, I got a limb from him. So we're the Gen C and continue.
Well, I don't want to spoil the ending, but there's no
Okay,
chance
okay.
we're going to get to the ending. I don't know if I wanted to spoil it for people in the chat.
I was gonna say we don't want
ending-
to spoil it for everybody.
Yeah, it's cool enough. Like it's a tiny little cutscene that plays and little
Nice.
things happen.
So now that I have the DNA, what should I do? Are we able to do the
You can go
modifying?
back. If you
Yeah.
wanted to, you could already go back and change out your limbs.
Okay, let's
going
do
to the
that so we
portal.
can at least show how that works. Yes, go back to the Citadel.
And then it's to the right.
And this, you guys think, how long of a playthrough do you estimate if somebody were to sit down and just play it and not get distracted like I do?
Takes me like 40 minutes.
Okay,
And I'm slow.
but you know where to go.
But I do know where to go.
So maybe people should dedicate like an hour to sitting down and playing it for the first time.
So you would go over to the tank where you see the floating
Whoops,
limbs.
I was gonna say, we've already done this. So go to the limbs.
Yeah. So what you can do at that console is you can see your stats after you've selected the limbs.
Okay, so this is our current stats.
Yep, that's just the basic ones.
HP, stamina, speed, defense, and attack. And then our debuff move, debuff amount, stamina cost. Okay, so
So the different attacks are all tied to different pieces. So all of the head pieces, they have the different attacks. All of the limb pieces, they have the debuff attacks, and all the torsos have the buff attacks.
okay, so this is going to modify our debuff move.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's
also
gonna
got a higher
change our
stat pool as well, so
stats.
that's why it's good. Yeah.
Okay. And so the total of each of the three is how like your stats get determined then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a little bit more maths that happens like behind the scenes, and without the use of division, because the rules system currently doesn't have any division. You've got to be a bit creative on how you scale everything. It's a little bit complicated in that sense, but yeah. So something like your speed stat, when you're fighting another enemy, the way it actually works out the speed stat is it adds your level to your current speed stat, and then it compares that to the enemy. And
Okay.
that's actually different to all the other stats that are calculated. So for your health, it's 2 times your health and then times your level after that.
Huh.
And it was just different ways to try and get the scaling.
Yeah.
Again, without division, it's very hard to get the scale correct, or without manually making every single individual logic donut. Which for each stat, that would mean there would be 5 different like logic assets, and you'd have to do that for every level. So it would be 25 times 13, like extra that you just didn't need.
Mostly understanding.
Yeah.
So
It saved a lot of time by doing it the way that I did it.
yeah. Okay.
And I needed to, because so for this particular game, so you're probably familiar with the rules board. And it has a little bar at the bottom, and it says like, if you use so many rules, then it goes red, and it was like recommend not using this many. I went 3 times over that, and then and then I still use logic assets in the game. So I used the donuts, and I still had 1,546 donuts plus 3 times over the rules board just to make this game.
And it doesn't seem to mess it up or bog it down or anything, does it?
Yeah, not at all. The performance is working perfectly. It's amazing.
I wonder why do you think that the recommended level is so much lower?
Well, it is very much different for multiplayer games. So that's
Okay.
one aspect.
Okay.
And then obviously the rules being in its infancy right now. If you do start getting to the point where you say you're 2 times over the recommended rules, it will actually slow down all of Game Maker. So when you then go to click on behaviors of, say, a logic asset, like it will move very, very slowly. And it requires a Game Maker restart to then get it flowing again. And obviously, as time goes on, that's gonna improve.
I think that, yeah, like you're saying, over time, it all will improve too. I got not distracted, but I started thinking down the lines of, so as we're customizing, I know I'm just like segueing away, but as we're customizing these guys, so you switch each part, and then like, so I would leave here, and now that's locked in, and this is our Blompkus.
Yep. So when you go into the battles, you will now see that Blompkus.
Okay, following, cool. So then, too bad we didn't find other things, but then you could also change the bottom and the top.
Yeah.
Are you able to see all your stats over here?
No. Yeah. So if you click on the console.
This one?
No, the one that says Blompkus console.
Okay. Okay. Found it.
Yeah.
So now
it
we
shows
have
all your base stats and your attacks, and also your type. But you're still.
I don't remember what. Do you know what you start with?
Approximately, you would have 6 HP, you would have 6 defense and 3 attack. You probably have a little bit less speed and the same stamina.
Okay. Oh shoot. Oh, I was actually going to do this. This is driving me nuts. I don't think you guys can hear it, but I don't know if the audience can hear it. But the volume is too loud in my opinion. At least in my ears. Fixed now though. Dope. So that, I think, what time is it? 6:50. Yeah. So I think that we kind of got through like the basics of playing, and if you guys watching along are interested in Hooked from this little sneak peek, make sure you go and check it out. I showed you earlier, and I think I have a video on YouTube somewhere showing people how to play, but maybe I should make a new refreshed one. Maybe I'll use your guys' game as an example. And but go search this in the Game Maker Drafts Gallery. Blompkus. Think I got that right?
I think
so. Well, you'll see it in the title too. Use the title, copy paste. But we still got like 10 minutes to go. Wayward, we didn't get to hear a whole lot from you. What was your experience like working with Zombie, and like what did you guys, and you both of you can chime in, but like what was the process of, like, was it a brainstorming session in the beginning and then you guys both just went to work on your separate things, or was it a lot of coming together and then breaking out and doing things and then coming together? Or I'm just throwing examples out there.
It was like mostly one or two meetings at the beginning, and then a lot of work after that. A lot of him messaging me like, "Oh, we need this still. Oh, we need that still." What else? I don't want to speak for you too much, Zombie, but like.
So you both kind of had your assignments and what needed to be done, and you just went and got those done, and then whenever either of you needed something from each other.
Yeah, like if I found something that wasn't working, like I'd let him know. Or like,
oh yeah, they did so much bug testing. Both Wayward and her husband and I, they're both incredibly helpful. So many bugs I probably wouldn't even found myself, and they would have made it to the end game if it wasn't hours and hours of testing.
Luckily, my husband loves playing any of the games that Woke puts together. So
as almost I think anyone does. You're a stud, Woke. You really do create some really fun games, and we enjoy playing them. And Wayward, you are also quite damn impressive whenever it comes.
I thought you were going to say I was also a stud.
It actually almost did come there, and then I was like, I'll just make up something else.
Nah, I would have taken it. It would have been a compliment.
Yes, we'll go
that works.
The stud and studette.
Heck yeah.
Because I mean, all the visuals in this are A+ material, if you ask me. I forget where we were on the conversation. I had a follow-up question, but I lost it, which is totally fine and pretty normal. But I really enjoyed this is what I was going to say. Don't exactly know what I was going to say, but Oh, how many weeks did you have to build this out? I
So
think everyone should know that.
it was a 3-week long game jam, so everyone at the same time.
Yeah.
Obviously, we brainstormed some ideas beforehand when Clever whatever approached me. We basically were trying to guess the theme. Guessing the theme generally isn't a good idea because you're just
Yeah.
always going to be wrong. You can't predict it. But we came up with a bunch of different ideas. And this particular idea was my favorite one. And I was like, I really hope we can do this one. But say if it was a multiplayer parkour game, then we had like different ideas for it. And we started off just by making generic assets that could work sort of in any scenario.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously when the theme was announced as being any theme, I just full steam ahead.
This one, 100%.
Yeah, I've just always wanted to make a game like this, and I'm very happy I got the opportunity to do so. I was going to make a game like this at some point anyway. It just could have been many months down the line. So I like for the fact that I've got in now, and I've got in early because these kind of games they are popular.
Totally. And I think there's so much you can expand on with this too, and it's dope to see what can really be done with IP. Like this is the Sandbox's IP that they created out of nowhere, and then you can go and you can make so many different types of games around it and experiences, and it doesn't even have to always be games. But obviously that's what we do here. But it's cool to see all the different ways that things can play out. And like you were saying early on, I really do hope to see the Dr. Blompkus come back at least like as like a yearly thing, so we see him resurface and we have something new to do, and hopefully some of these games can continue to be expanded and evolved. Here's a question that pops in my head. Last question of the night. And maybe you guys know, maybe you don't, but with this being the Sandbox's IP, are you going to be able to like continue to create next chapters of this game, or just because it was a game jam you could use their IP, but then afterwards it's going to be stuck? I just that popped in my head, and maybe they've addressed it, maybe they haven't. I have no idea.
I'm not sure, honestly, but
If I was to take a guess, I would say we would definitely be able to. Sandbox, they're very good in encouraging you to make these games. Like you can continue working on this game past it, like when it goes onto land and stuff as well. So that they would encourage it. They would definitely encourage it. They would like
the only thing that they'd probably, or almost definitely not want us to do is like making money off of this. Like if we're making money off of their IP, like outside of the game jam, like making things and then minting them that have Blompkus on it without their permission, that's probably a big no.
Yeah,
I reckon they would be okay to say, "Oh, we do a competition, complete this game, you could be entered into it." I think something like that would be fine with.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could see. I mean, if I was in their position, I could see them potentially like offering to like bring you on to then continue to evolve the storyline or whatever, because you guys did such a good job at it, or something along those lines maybe. And that, at least I would love to see something like that, just to because you are doing a great marketing for them, especially if the game were to catch on, which I think it has a chance to be honest. Like there's not this style game in the Sandbox yet, so at least not that I've seen.
Yeah, and I'd love to work on future games like this. And I'm savvy to a bit of information. I think it was publicly said in a stream, but I won't repeat it just in case there was some NDA thing and it wasn't in a stream that I saw it. But there will be more features coming that will make a Pokemon-like game even easier to make, and be able to do a lot more with it. Probably like increase the performances. Not like this game needed it, but obviously, say I wanted to do 100 Blompkuses in one game, maybe that would potentially be possible later down the line. and just have it fully fledged, like all out there.
I wonder when those updates will come. Hopefully soon. I think that's it, y'all. I have to get. I know we didn't start right on time, but I do have to I have to wrap up here so that I can get ready for my Sandbox stream here in the next hour. And I think we did a good job of diving into that. It worked out how I kind of expected it to. For those of you that weren't privy, and none of you were except for you two, I'm bringing Metaverse Spotlight back, and I want Metaverse Spotlight to be more of a show where we dive into games, hopefully, and we'll see how it continues to go. But I'm going to try and do it as like a first-time playthrough, just so that the developers can kind of tag along and see what it is like for somebody to play through for the first time, and then have a conversation around it as we go, like we did. Let me know in the comments if you think that's working, and if it's not, let me know what you'd like to see me do differently. But that's what we're gonna be doing here into the future, and obviously, like all my shows go, we'll tweak and adjust as we go. So your feedback is helpful to provide those adjustments to make it a better viewing experience for y'all. But thank you guys all so much for being here in the chat, for catching the replays. Make sure you like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff that you should do. I don't know what else there is to do. Thank you, Woke. Thank you, Wayward, for coming on and sharing this game with us. Good luck in the game jam itself. Do you guys know when are submissions done, or can submissions still be going? When's the cutoff date, and then when is the awards?
The cutoff date was on the 5th.
Okay.
The award ceremony, I believe, is March 9th, so a little way yet.
Sure. But
this was a passion project for me. So regardless of results, and I already know there's like some amazing games. Like in particular, I've seen Vox Machina Studios. That looks like a really awesome game. I'd be very interested to play that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty scared of the competition.
I saw another masterpiece come out from Fred and Third and Roxy McGill, and those games are just hilarious. Roxy McGill's just got such a sense of humor. I love the different types in there, and again, Roxy McGill's game, it's got a very recurring theme going on for it. Again, you're just able to make your own games for this game jam, which I think was great, and you're going to see basically all of them go to lands.
I agree. I think there is going to be some stiff competition, but if I had to guess, you guys are going to definitely be in the running for somewhere in the final 10 or whatever they do. I think it's 10, right? That they reward. Cool. Well, let me give you guys a stage one last time. Shout out whatever you want to shout out, Clever, whatever. Woke, you do you, and let people know where they can follow you and all that fun stuff, and then we will say goodbye.
I'm Wayward Escapades, Mandy Wayward on Twitter. I don't do much. I don't talk to you much.
You don't want to shout out Clever whatever?
Clever whatever. He already said it. Yeah, Clever whatever. That's the studio. That's my studio. That's where I'm doing things.
Okay.
Among other places.
Hell yeah.
You can follow me on Twitter. I don't do particularly much on there. But if you
follow
do follow
Touche Studios too. Follow Touche Studios.
Yeah, shout out to Touche Studios.
Hiya.
Hell yeah. Shout out Touche. Shout out yourselves, Woke Zombie, Mandy Wayward, Wayward Escapades. I think yours is Woke Zombie on Twitter. Clever whatever, CLVR.
Don't bother. You just, if you really want to find it, you can find it in my page.
There we go. There we go. All right. Well, thanks again, y'all, for coming on. Thank you, chat, for being here, tuning in. And thank you, if you are catching the replay, for catching the replay. We will catch everyone on the next episode, and I will see y'all later. Peace. Bye.